What is up guys, Kartaka here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Sakuyamon deck from BT-17. This deck is still not super great. It still has consistency issues, but that's because of the nature this deck plays. But it is a super fun deck to play. It's probably one of my favorite decks to play in BT-17 just because it's so much fun just playing around with the different plugins that you have. So yeah, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the Digitamons, we are running 4 of the Pokemon from EX2. So this one just lets you draw whenever you use a 2-cost or above option card. So it just helps you get a little bit of draw power because this deck really needs the searches and the draws. So we are running 4 of those Tamers. Next we are running 4 of the Renamon from EX2. This one is on play, search top 4 and grab a Cubemon, Talmon, or Sakuyamon card in its name. And then you can also get a Rika and then put the rest at the bottom. So I'm running this one just because it helps you grab majority of what you need. It doesn't help you grab plugins, but it helps you look at top 4, which is pretty good. And be able to grab a evolution line as well as a Rika is just good. And the inherit to gain memory is also really good. So we are running 4 of those Renamons. Next we are running 3 of the BT-10 Renamon. This Renamon is on play, look at the top 4, grab a plugin and a yellow tamer. So if you're set with your evolution line, you can use to hard cast this to just grab a plugin that you need. And yeah, she's pretty good, but I think just securing your evolution line is more important than securing your plugins. Plugins can come in a bit later. And yeah, so for the inherit ability, it's whenever you use a 2-cost or above option card, you can give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2000, which does come in handy sometimes. So we are running 3 of those. And we are also running 3 of the BT-17 Renamon. This Renamon's really good. I want to run her at 4, but I don't have the space for it. But if you want to cut out one of the option cards that I will be running, you guys can feel free to do so and run extra one of these if you want. So for this one, it's on play, look at top 3, and you can grab a Cubemon, Talmon, or a Sakuyamon card with in its name. And you can also get a Rika or a 2-cost or above option card and add it to your hand. So this one pretty much just grabs everything. The reason why I'm not running 4 of these is because the 3 and the 4 does make a difference. So if you feel like you'd like to grab either a option or a Rika more and sacrifice the extra 1, you guys can feel free to run this at 4 and this at 3. But personally, I think the 4 does make the difference, and that's why I'm running 4-3. But understandable if you want to run 4 of this one. This one's still really good just because it helps you grab everything from your deck pretty much. So yeah. Inheritability wise, the minus security is useful, but I still think gaining 1 memory just to extend your turn a bit more is more helpful. So that also gives me another reason to run the EX2 Renamon at 4 instead of 3. Alright, now let's move on to the level 4s. So I'm running 4 of the BT-10 Cubemon. This one has ability of on evolution. You can activate one of the following effects. You can either grab a plugin from your trash and add it back to your hand, or you can ditch a plugin to draw 2 cards. So this is a really important card in your deck just to help you get started. It's a really good card to digivolve into early game just to help dig through your deck, get your combo pieces, and if you need to retrieve plugins, you can use it to do that. Downside is it does not have an inherit ability, which does, it is a bit of a downside, but the on evolution ability is just too good to pass up on. So we are running 4 of those Cubemons. Next we are running 3 of the BT-17 Cubemon. This one on play lets you play a Rika if you don't have a Rika on the board already, so it's pretty good. And the inheritability is whenever you play a 2-cost or above option, you can give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 1 security check. So pretty good for stalling. If you can't kill it, give it minus security check so you can kind of stall it out a bit. So Yeah, it's not bad. Next, we are running 3 of the EX2 Cubimon. This one on evolution lets you look at the top 3 and grab a plug-in. It's not bad, but it's not super great. The inheritability is pretty good as well. Lets you minus 0.0 DP by 2000 whenever you use a 2-cost or above option. If you're missing a plugin and you can't ditch or retrieve any, this one is probably the best option to go into. So yeah, there's a wide variety of Cubimons for you to choose from. So yeah. Alright, now let's move on to the level 6s. So sorry, level 5s. Level 5s. So we are running 3 Talmon from EX2. This one on evolution lets you play Rika. It's important to get quite a few Rikas on the board just so you can stack her ability. But if you need to play the 3-cost Rika, you can use it to do so as well. If you need to prepare for a warp, if you think your stack is going to get destroyed. And then we are also running 3 of the Talmon from BT-17. This one has barrier, and on evolution you can play a plug-in from your hand or a yellow option for 2 costs less. So it's pretty good. I think she's nice to have. I was running her at 4, but I feel like I have enough ways to fetch the Talmons that I don't need to run 7 level 5s. And I'm running 6 just because I do want to make more space for more option cards. Now let's move on to the level 6. This is kind of like a controversial lineup for the level 6 just because I'm running quite a few level 6s. But the reason, I'll talk about the reason why later. So I'm running 2 of the BT-17 Sakuyamon. This one has barrier. You can also evolve on top of the Miko mode for 1 cost. And on evolution, you can give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 6,000. And then afterwards, you can use a plugin from your hand or a 5 cost or less yellow option card. So this card works really well with the new yellow plugin that gives your opponent minus 6,000. So because you can effectively put minus 12,000 on a Digimon, which is really good. And then whenever a 2 cost or above option card is used, until the end of your opponent's turn, this card cannot be returned by your opponent's returned to the hand or deck by your opponent's effects. So it gives you a little bit of protection, which is really nice as well. Comboed with the black plugin makes her pretty indestructible. But obviously there are still ways to get deleted, but it gives her enough protection from a lot of different things. So yeah, pretty good. Next we are running 2 of the Sakuyamon Miko modes from BT-10. So on evolution you can play a plug-in from your hand or a yellow 5 cost or less option card for free, and then instead of going to the trash, it goes to the top of the security stack afterwards. And then on attack you can pay 1 cost to Digivolve into a Sakuyamon card with Sakuyamon. So it has to Digivolve into a Sakuyamon, not in its name. So you can combo it with the EX2, which we are also running 2 of. So 2 of the EX2 Sakuyamons. So this one on evolution, you can unsuspend 1 Digimon, and then for every Tamer you have, you can fetch a plugin back to your hand. And then whenever a 2 cost or above plugin is used, you can give 1 of your opponent's Digimon minus 3,000. So this card is still really, really strong in my opinion. I think she is still quite good, especially in this current build where you're using a lot of plugins. You can, and you have a lot of ways to slap your Tamers down. So you have a lot of ways to just fetch your plugins back, just to use them all over again. And being able to unsuspend is also really good. So assuming you used your high speed plugin as well as your offensive plugin, you'll be able to do 2 checks, and then you can Digivolve into this one and do 2 checks again. So it's a strong combo. It does require some setup, but I still think when you get it off, it feels really, really good, and it's a fun combo to pull. Next, we are also running 2 of the Sakuyamon Miko Mode Ace. Now this is the new card we got from LMO3. So it has Blast Evolution, and on Evolution and on Play, you can choose a yellow Tamer or a single colored 5 cost or less option card and put it to the top of your security stack. And then whenever whenever one of your option cards are used or a card is added to your security, you can minus 6,000 on your opponent's Digimon. So the other effect is active on both turns, so it's quite good. And the reason why I'm running 8 level 6s is because you can hardcast this, and after you hardcast this, it is you are able to Digivolve this into a Sakuyamon or a Miko mode, because you can Digivolve onto level 6 for 2 costs, which will still let you use your combos. So effectively you can use this to just skip your whole chain. You do miss out on the evolution sources, but if you're bricking, I think she's pretty good just to hardcast and just set up your security as well. Like for example, if you are playing against a deck that doesn't trash cards from your security, you can kind of set up your security so that when your opponent attacks into it, you can play that card. So for example, if you need a Rika on the board, you can set that Rika up, your opponent will attack into it, and then you get a free Tamer on the board. So she's pretty good. She has lots of utility, and yeah, overall nice addition to the deck. So I'm running 2-2 just because I want to try everything out, and every level 6 does have its uses. So if you don't like a particular level 6, like for example you don't like the BT-17 Sakuyamon, you can cut it out, and in that slot you can either run another level 6 or you can fill out the other slots that I've cut out on. So it's pretty flexible for that. But I recommend you guys try it out just to see how you guys like it. Personally, aside from a game or two where I did brick on level 5, the rest of the things have been pretty smooth. I just slap down a Renamon, I get my combo pieces, and I maintain my advantage throughout the game. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next, for the Tamers, we're running 4 of the EX2 Rika. She's the memory setter. I still think she is the best Rika right now. We have 2, we only have 2, but I think whenever one of your Renamon, Sakuyamon, or a Talmon attacks, vesting her and then using a plugin for free is just really good. So having multiple on the board will just let you use more plugins. So yeah, she's good. But we are also running to the new Rika. This one helps you bio-merge into Sakuyamon as long as you have a Renamon on the board. So you gain a memory whenever at the start of your main phase, whenever your opponent has a Digimon on the board, and then during your main phase, you can put this Tamer and a Cubimon and a Talmon from your trash underneath one of your Renamons to Digivolve into Sakuyamon by paying 4 cost, and afterwards you can grab a option card back to your hand. So she's really, really good, I think, because when you bio-merge and you have a plugin from your trash, you can just pick it back up and use it. So mainly you can use it with this one. This one will help you pick up plugins already. So if you have this one, if you Digivolve into this one, you can grab more plugins. Or you can grab any option. If you need like scrambles or trainings, you can do that as well. So now let's move on to the option card. Now this is a lineup I've been experimenting with just because there are so many plugins now. But I feel like these ones are the best ones to play in this current format. We are running 2 of the Super Evolution plugin S. So this one lets you draw 1, and then you can Digivolve into a card for 3 costs less. So if you're using this for free, you're pretty much Digivolving for free, which is really strong. I would like to run more than 2 of this, but I don't really have space for it, and so that's why we're only running 2. But this is one of the plugins that you want if you are building up your line. It's quite good. Next, we are running 2 of the Pause plugin P. So you can use you can minus 6,000 on one of your opponent's Digimon, and afterwards it cannot use its on evolution effects. So pretty good just for stalling a stack even if you can't blow it up. So yeah, it's quite good for that. I think this is a must-have in this deck. Like besides the Super Evolution plugin S, I think the plugin P is the next best option, if not the best option. Next we have the defensive plugin C. So this one gives one of your Digimon blocker, and then it also gives it reboot, and it also makes it immune to your opponent's deletion effects. So use this just to stall out. It's okay. And then for the security effect, So this one just minuses 6,000 on one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you add it to your hand. And then this one lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can play a 4 cost or less Digimon from amongst them, and then add this card to your hand. So plugin C, this one is optional. I think it's pretty good just to give your Digimon immune to deletion effects in case you're playing against decks that have those effects. Yeah. Next, we are running one high speed plugin D. This one gives your Digimon jamming, and it also makes it unblockable. I think this card is pretty good. Most of the time, you're going to use this card just to make your Renamon be over security, because your Sakuyamon, your Digimon in general, are just squishy. So having this will make it a lot better. Being unblockable also is very good, just because there's a lot of blockers in the current format. And yeah, and the the security effect is to draw one and then add this card to your hand. So the security effect is a little bit weaker than the other ones, but I still think it has its uses. And we are running one offensive plugin A. So plugin A and plugin D are best friends. You want to use both of these, but you don't really want to get these too early, and that's why we're running one of each. If you don't run them, if you don't draw into them, it will hurt your long-term plays. But sometimes you just gotta make some sacrifices. You can kind of adjust the ratio and see which one you like the most, but this is my current lineup just because there's so many good plugins, but you only have so much space, and so I'm only running one of the ones where I think are not as necessary as the other ones. Some people might think the plugin P is not as necessary as the plugin D, and so you can take out one of these and add another D if you want. Or some people might think, oh, plugin C is absolutely useless, you can take this out and just run another A or D if you want. It's pretty flexible. There's so many plugins, and it's up to you to experiment with them and see which one you like the most. Now let's move on to the more generic stuff. So running 2 trainings. So since this deck has so weird ratios, we are running 2 of the trainings just to help out a bit with the consistency. And it is a 2-cost option, so you will get the benefits of using this whenever you have a stack on the field. And be able to Digivolve into a Cubimon for 2 cost less or a Tamon for 2 cost less is really nice. So we are running 2 of those. And we are running 1 Scramble. This one is just to pick up your combo pieces from your trash if you need it. And this one also acts as like a pseudo plugin S, because you can play this and then you can Digivolve one of your Digimon into something for 3 cost less. So effectively you're running 3 plugin S's. Whoops. But this one has the added ability to act as a delay. But I think the reason why I'm running the plugin S over the Scrambles is because it is more searchable. This one does have plugin in its name, so it's easily accessible by some of the other cards that only search for plugin name cards. But again, it's up to you to mix and match to see what you like the most. But that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Yeah, this deck has been a pretty difficult deck to build just because the ratio for the deck is so weird. Like, you really need the option cards, obviously, and you need your stack. So finding the perfect balance was kind of hard. So some people might want to run level 7s also, like sorry, no, but some people might even run Venusmon in this deck just to because you can minus DP on your opponent's Digimon. Sorry, minus security on your opponent's Digimon, which does do a bit pausing. But my problem with Venusmon is it's not super searchable with the rest of the deck, so I'm running a full Sakuyamon lineup just for that reason. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. But yeah, this is Kartaku, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!